Welcome to another episode of the Back Catalogue podcast. We're wearing pants. This is the podcast where we, and by we I mean me, Apple, and my co-host / co-founder Vincent.
What the hell?
You're getting phone calls.
There's random heads at my house.
We dive into the streaming service. We tell you, the listener and the viewer, what is worth it and what is not. And we're back in the studio, Vincent.
It feels Doctor Strange in here, bro.
It feels Doctor Strange in here, and that is because we are doing 2022's very own Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
You know, you made a joke about Doctor Strange's wife. Is that like a possibility? Like, is Christine could be in? What does Strange mean?
I think that means like they ain't
don't talk
talking
each
anymore.
other.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's
Like, what's estranged?
It's on the same level.
Estranged. Estranged meaning no longer close or affectionate to someone.
They're estranged.
They're estranged. So this should be called Doctor Estranged. But Vincent, this has got the
and they're also both doctors.
Also, it works for both of them.
So it works for both of them.
Yeah. And like his last name is Strange.
Dude, this works on so many levels.
So it's got 7.1 out of 10 on the IMDb. It's got the 74% on the Rotten Tomatoes. I can't even see budgets and box offices, but here it is. This had a budget of 200 million. Now, 200 million just seems small for these movies.
It seems small, but when you think about it, $200 million, that's a lot of dollars.
That's a lot of dollars. Like, how much do you reckon Dr. Strange, Benedict Cumberbatch himself, is getting?
I mean, he'd get like at least 10 mil for sure.
Also, my partner was watching this when I rewatched it, and she thinks that Benedict Cumberbatch should have been called Hubert. Like, he seems like an individual that could be called Hubert.
Nah, I think Benedict is.
But like, I guess maybe not as much in this one, but definitely in like Sherlock, you could see him as being like a Hubert.
You could see him as a Hubert, yeah.
Yeah. This one, he's a bit too cool looking.
He's got the facial hair. He's not a Hubert.
He's got like the heavily dyed hair as well.
Yeah.
Which we'll talk about. This had a budget of 200 million and it made 951.1 million. And it's now available on Disney Plus,
which is where I watched it because I'm not going to a cinema.
So I went to the cinema to watch this, and we'll get into that. But Vincent, what we're also going to get into is just the hits and the misses here, because we're just going to have fun.
We're back in the studio. We're going to have fun. You know, we're here. We're back.
Pants. We're here. That's a bit that's going to stay in this. It's part of it now.
It's not something that I think should stay in this, but I mean, at the end of the day, you're going to say what you're going to say. So,
like, I intro this. And until that's vetoed, like
that's
the next
right,
meeting,
exactly,
it might be vetoed.
And right unfortunately, our board meetings are very 50-50. Because like, if there's not 2 votes, then it's not happening. And you're going to vote for pants, and I'm going to vote for not saying that. And
the positive thing is, like, this is the board meeting.
Yeah, this is effectively the board meeting.
We've been here with the board meeting. Yeah. So, Vincent, let's get straight into this. So, this is the sequel to Doctor Strange 1, but it doesn't necessarily feel like a sequel to that. It feels like more of a sequel to what has been going on in Loki, in Spider-Man No Way Home.
I think that's a positive. I think these movies, I don't think this should happen for all of them, but I think a lot of them, now that we are...
Go on. People aren't watching this, so you can't react to what I'm doing. You have to, like, they're listening.
They're listening, that's right. Yeah. Oh my goodness, Apo, you're an idiot. That's what I was thinking just then. No, so they're at a point now where you've watched one movie. Majority of the people that are watching these movies have watched more than, let's say, 3. I'll say the average is at least greater than 3 movies. So you're familiar with these characters, and if not, you can get familiar. You can get real familiar because we're talking like 12 years of cinema.
Yeah.
So you can do stuff. You could have just called this. I mean, this was Doctor Strange, a movie, but you could have called this the Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah, because it is much a Doctor Strange movie as it is Scarlet Witch.
That's right.
Maximoff movie.
But so I think that they can even move away from having like, hey, it's this head in this movie. It could just be like the title of a movie.
It could just be like, we're doing Marvel things.
That's right.
Part 2.
And then there could just be heads in there.
Yeah. Because there's heads in this movie.
There's absolutely heads in this movie.
And they're not heads, they're heads that we may have been introduced to before, that we may have not been introduced to them before. But there's heads in this movie. I definitely think that that's a positive, that this was not a direct follow up. Like it's not where we left off in Doctor Strange 1.
Yeah, because what we're going to do there? What did he even do? He became Sorcerer Supreme. He defeated Dormammu. He did that a few times. Well, that was on loop for a bit.
Yeah, and you know, this could have been done 3 years earlier. Whenever Doctor Strange came out, this could have been done a year after that, and it being him taking on his mate. What's his name again? I keep forgetting his name. Mordo.
Mordo?
Yeah, Mordo.
Or Vordo?
No, it's Mordo.
It's Mordo?
Like it's not Lesto. It's Mordo.
Right,
that's dumb idiot stuff. But we're in the stew.
We're in the stew. That's right.
So like, there's green ticks like coming up when we're in the stew. Like, it doesn't matter what you say. Like, there's someone just they're giving the thumbs up.
They're going, are we vetoing this? Not vetoing. I mean, no veto.
Like, we can't do it.
We can't do it.
We can't do it.
Yeah. So should we just go through the hits?
I want to go through the hits. I think that this movie, when I first watched this movie at the cinema, so I watched it amongst the people as Martin Scorsese intended.
You were with the people.
I was with the people amongst them, and Martin Scorsese was there, and he intended it. Scorsese, yeah.
Bro, Scorsese.
And the one thing, when this movie opened, so after watching No Way Home, I was not keen for another Marvel movie for a while.
But also, you knew going into this one, there'd be other heads there.
That there'd be
cameos. It's the multiverse. There's gonna be heads. And I mean, you can watch our review of Spider-Man. He's not home at all now, and I mean, we both didn't really like that movie.
No, and because it played too heavily into the fact that, oh, hey, look, you know, we got Garfield, we got Maguire's, we got
Garfield
Defoe's.
told everyone he wasn't doing it for like 6 months, and then he's here. Can you believe that?
Like, he lied to your face, and you still like went there and cheered. You know,
you went there and cheered.
You were simping over this man, and he was lying to you. Like, this is how toxic relationships go. They'll lie to you, and you'll be there for them.
That's right.
But we saw that, and we thought, this is a movie that is relied too heavily on cameos and all that kind of stuff. So when you hear Multiverse of Madness and you know that this man's going to be, you know, jumping through the multiverse, you're thinking this movie is going to be bloated, filled with this. But what I was going to get to, when I walked into the cinema, I didn't have the highest of expectations. And I got into that first scene where America Chavez and Doctor Strange from another universe are getting chased by that massive octopus-like creature. And I'll be honest with you, man, I was a bit like, oh no, what are we in for here? Like, this is going to be, is this just going to be, they're going to be trying to make this too wild? Like, I know it's madness, and it should be madness, but are they just going to be too mad and focus on beating up all these creatures? I was like, that is cool, but also I wasn't feeling it. And then when Doctor Strange went to the wedding and he flipped out with the
that was fresh as hell.
he came, like, he saw he saw something going on in the city, and this is in the regular universe, and he jumps over the thing and he gets his cloak and he changes his suit.
That was smooth as hell. And you know what I was thinking? I was like, man, if I was a superhero and I was in that situation, like, the only thing I'd be able to think about was, man, I look damn cool doing that.
Yeah.
And I just get smacked by this monster because I'd just be admiring what I've just done. Like, all these heads on this balcony are just thinking, like, man, that is the coolest thing I've ever seen. I've just gotten married, but like, this is the best day of my life because of this.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly what what's her name's Christine's husband was thinking. Like, I get to see Doctor Strange in action. But when that hit, and I was
maybe
like,
it shouldn't be so Doctor Strange from him. Like, he's cool as hell.
When I saw that bit, I was like, this is gonna be fun, because Benedict Cumberbatch is in this. You know, Benedict Wong is in this as well. We got heads in here, and we're having fun.
I like Benedict Wong being a bigger part of these movies.
He's just in them now.
He's just in them, and I love that.
Imagine if he's the new Stan Lee.
Because
like,
he's also a character that is he's just fed up, man. He's just there. He's just like, man, I just want to do my job. Like, I want to fight some heads here. This is too wild. Like, you're opening up portals to different worlds. I'm here to just help this one.
That's exactly right.
And he's just like, every time he just does that like that. He shake the head with the half smile. He's like, they've bloody done it again.
He's disappointed, but he knows it's his job.
That's
to fix
right.
it up.
That's right.
And then from there, I think that the three characters, so America Chavez, Wong, and Benedict Cumberbatch, they just worked well together. It felt like they'd known each other for ages.
Yeah.
And they were just doing some, rapport building prior to getting on screen. I really enjoyed that part. Now, from there, bro, if I could tell you if there was some misses, I will tell you there are some misses. But there's so many hits for me in this movie.
The only miss, and I told you this last week, I think. The only miss for me was when Christine was fighting off them spirits when Doctor Strange was dream walking, and she did like some Die Hard, like hasta la vista, baby, and then shot on things with like the goblet of fire from Harry Potter.
Yeah.
I was like, what are you doing here?
Like, and Harry Potter's name comes out of it, and Michael Gambon's getting angry at people. But yeah, no, that part I also did not like when. And we're jumping around here. This is just I'm going to say a miss, and then we're just going to go into hits.
That's okay.
I also didn't like when they went to the Illuminati. They found the Illuminati for the first time, and Doctor Strange is getting questioned by them, and he's like saying the Illuminati.
The Illuminati,
and he's saying like there's obviously that Blacker Bolt, whatever his name is.
I think it's just Black Bolt.
But it's like Blackagon. He's like his full name is something.
Oh,
something
for real?
Wild. Yeah. It's like Blacker Bolt or something. And I'm scared that I'm saying words that might end up being that might get a person cancelled. But
further down the track, this podcast may no longer be. So you better watch it and better download it while you can.
Bro, that's why the podcast is on the new channel, on the new YouTube channel.
That's
because
right.
Like we got cancelled on the old
one. And if you are here on the new channel, like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Because we've got 3 subscribers, and one of them is me, and 2 of them are him. So.
I can't find his name, but it is Black Bolt, but they say his full name.
Okay.
And anyway, Doctor Strange is just saying like quips.
Yeah. No, I that didn't pull me out of it as much, but I can respect that as being something that I probably would have, like if I kind of picked up on it a bit more, I probably would have.
The reason that I didn't like it was because he is quippy. He's a quippy man.
But also he knows what the Illuminati is.
Yeah, of course.
Like Dr. Dre said in one of his songs, I'm pretty sure.
You know, everyone's putting up those pyramids, up those diamonds. Jay-Z did it.
That's right.
But also,
no, you're right. Blackagar Boltagon.
Blackagar Boltagon. You know,
Blackagar Boltagon.
Say that 3 times
that's
fast,
a
you
fake
get
name.
cancelled.
That's a fake name if I've ever seen one.
I mean, they're all fake names, really. Like every name is fake.
Yeah, hilarious. All right, who tweeted that one first?
Did I tweet it? Is that something that I tweeted in my repertoire of tweets?
No, I'm saying that's just something people say.
That's right. You know, like
because someone said it first.
Throw some words at a wall.
Attilan. What the hell? They're giving me ads on like Marvel fandom.
But Vincent, I need to tell you why I didn't like the quips.
Attilan. Atalan. Atalan is a place, the island of the gods. Located in the... Bro, I was about to say, he's from Australia.
He's from the moon.
No, he's not.
He's from the moon. Man.
Located in the North Atlantic Ocean.
Who, Blackagon Boltagon?
Blackagon Boltagon.
No, he's from the moon, man. The Inhumans, they're from the moon.
Bruv, I'm telling you.
I'm telling you
right here.
Search up Blackagon Boltagon moon.
Pre-Inhuman Atalan, 50,000 years ago.
I'll see he was
I can see that. So the Inhuman settlement is now... The section contains material that... I don't care.
That's from the moon. But
Whatever.
Anyway, the reason I didn't like the quips was because you start moving away from Doctor Strange and start turning him Tony Stark's. Because Tony Stark will be in that situation and he'd be like, you know, are you a Build-A-Bear? And he'll be just a human being, you know? And we hate Tony Stark on this podcast. We've said it once, we've said it twice. We'll say it 3 times. And I think that's why I didn't like that part. Because I was like, even though he's very similar, they got the beard. They're very clever, smart people, you know, the top of their game. You know, Tony Stark in doing like Tesla business and Doctor Strange in doing like doctor business, right? They're the top of their fields, but they are very different characters. And we talked about this in private, and we'll talk about it in public.
We talked about it in the private. Now we're going to talk about it in the public.
The good thing about Doctor Strange is he doesn't make the mistakes to then fix them. He realizes that if he does this, if I make this choice, there will be a mistake. So I'm going to make the more appropriate choice.
And he also he doesn't want to get involved in everything. No. Like I watched Thor Ragnarok again last night, and we're going to be doing that next week, so stay tuned for that. But Mans is just like, get this Loki man the hell out of my planet. And he's just like, see ya, and that's it. He's not out here being like, okay, well, we're going to build a prison for him, right? And we're going to use AI, and then that AI is going to overthrow the world, and then everyone's going to be in prison. But are we all in prison anyway?
Yeah. Like, names are fake, we're all in prison.
Names are fake, we're all in prison.
Like look at your phone, bro. That's the bars sitting in front of you, you know? It's metaphors. The bars that you got, 4G. That's what I should have said. I should have said the 4G
Do you
bars.
want to go back?
Yeah.
Say it again.
Cut it out. Cut it out. You're going to cut it out?
Yeah. Do it again.
The 4G bars, like that's prison, man. That's prison. And that's just facts.
Yeah, bro. That's quips.
That's quips, but you put that on a black background with the white text and my name underneath, or even unknown underneath.
Unknown. You have to put unknown.
Yeah.
Because how are they going to do
Buddha.
like... Nah,
like, it'd be good if you put Buddha.
because there's too many people that just like putting things like Buddha. You know?
There's actually a Godzilla book which you bought me and they put Buddha in it and it's not a quote by Buddha.
Bro, Godzilla really be tripping. Buddha. That's what they're doing.
Because I searched it up and I was like, look, I'll get that tattooed on my my ribs, bro. That's killer quote. And then I searched it up and it wasn't Buddha. Do you reckon heads get tattoos and they have like the quote underneath?
100%. It's like when you say people put stuff in different languages, or like Chinese characters or Japanese characters, and like, yeah, man, it means like strength, and it means like Kentucky Fried Chicken in
like literally like
Cantonese.
If you like just turn them around, like you see it's KFC, but it's just on the side.
They've just rotated the. Anyway, Black Gone, Bolter Gone.
Yeah. I don't know if that's appropriate, but
that's all right.
Yeah, this is on the other channel. Yeah, so I just didn't like those clips, but let's get into the hits right now.
Let's get into the hits. All right.
I want to hear your hits because you were excited.
Okay, so the first hit is they're in the apple orchard. Scarlet Witch is like, bro, they ain't no apples.
Oh, dude.
But because I mean, you didn't watch any trailers for this.
I didn't watch any.
I didn't watch any trailers for this. I knew Doctor Strange was in there. I knew he may or may not be estranged from Christine, and I knew Scarlet Witch was in there. And I knew there was going to be multiversal things. That's it. That's right. All I knew coming into this movie.
And did you know Sam Raimi things as well?
No, I didn't even know Sam Raimi things.
Okay.
So, and the other thing was I knew that Scarlet, like Doctor Strange is going to go to see Scarlet Witch because it was in the after credits in one of the movies or it was in something like she was on the thing and she was sitting there. It might have been in Loki.
It was in WandaVision, wasn't it?
Was it in WandaVision?
Where she's reading the Darkhold, but she's also sitting there like doing like non-Darkhold things.
Oh, she wasn't. Okay, so yes, I didn't pick that. I just thought that they were going to be like, hey, you can help me do witchcraft things, because witchcraft.
Yeah.
But when she was like, you can bring America here, I was like, bro, how are they going to bring the whole continent there? Because like, America big.
Well, that's the funny thing because you kept hearing her name. And
yeah. It wasn't until probably 25, 30 minutes into the movie where I was like, oh, this is this lady's name.
She says, I'm America Chavez at the start as well.
Yeah, but I don't know. I thought she might have said like, I'm American Chavez.
Like her name is Chavez, but she's American.
Yeah, like she's not the British Chavez.
Yeah. She's not like Captain Britain.
She's not like Captain Britain. Yeah, so that was something that confused me a fair bit because because there was a few things when Doctor Strange and Scarlet Witch were talking, and she was like, "Oh, why don't you bring America here?" And I'm thinking, how the hell are you going to bring America here? And then Doctor Strange goes, How did you know the name? I'm thinking, what? It's America, bro. What's going on here?
You're there.
You're there.
Yeah.
Like, where do you think these apple orchards are growing from?
Also, that's not entirely how that bit goes. Scarlet Witch, is walking and she goes, you never told me her name.
Yeah.
And he goes, yeah. Like, well, I'm leaving now. Like, I'm busting out of here now.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you see those apple orchards fade and like all the sheep just turn to dust, and then she becomes the Scarlet Witch. You were saying some cool things like, well, the other day, some very, like observant things, and not really that observant.
Was it about her appearance?
Her appearance.
Yeah, so you could tell that when she was just Wanda, and when you saw Wanda again in the other multiverse with the kids, her face was very soft. Like there wasn't. She didn't have a lot of like heavy makeup on, and I don't know about makeup things, but like, her facial features were very soft. They were very calming. I don't know. They were.
Don't fall into holes, man.
No. The word I want to say is they were very soft. Did I just say that again?
I said soft.
Let's keep it soft. Let's keep it soft. But when she was the Scarlet Witch, her features were very sharp. She had a lot of dark eye situation, and you could tell that she was like not good.
Yeah. And she had black fingertips as well.
She had black fingertips.
But
that's Darkhold thing.
That's Darkhold. You get the Darkhold holds you, you know. Yes, she looks terrifying, and her eyes look menacing when she is and I think that's a big thing. Like when
because
you see her
also
eyes,
her
the crown, or
crown, because it has the two sharp things that come down over her cheeks, and her cheekbones are like contoured, so they're sharp.
Yeah,
it just adds to the whole aesthetic, and it's like, yeah, this lady's not mucking around.
You know, we were very lucky in this movie to get a villain so good, because you know a lot of people after I watched this, I went on Twitters because that's what I like to do.
Yeah.
Because I like to see if people are simping over things. I like to see if people are hating over things, right? That's the two greatest things about Twitter. All right? And the one thing that people kept complaining about was, why would you make Wanda a bad guy in this? You've now ruined her character. It's like, no, her character has now excelled in my mind.
Yeah.
Because you can have good villains who were good people at some stage, but then for some reason their motives have changed or something has taken over and they've become bad people.
That's why people change.
That's a compelling villain as well.
But that's the other thing is, you know, people go, oh, like, yeah, there's a lot of character growth. I don't know if they're the same people. I haven't been on Twitter. People. But they're saying like, oh, yeah, Loki's character growth. Like, oh, look at Loki. Like, this is character growth as well.
Yeah.
There are things that have happened in this person's, you know, on-screen life that has made them become who they are. And it was very reminiscent of Jean Grey in The Last Stand.
Yeah.
Because we did that last week.
Last week.
Very similar.
Yeah.
Very similar.
Well, I mean, it was very similar, but really they didn't do enough with Jean Grey.
No, definitely not. But that was the kind of vibe they were going for. And I think this one hit. Yeah. This one really hit.
This one hit. And I love that one of the things that I loved about her arc was she starts off by saying, hey, look, I just want to get to my kids. That's what I'm doing, yeah. I'm just getting to my kids. And then she's later saying, oh, no, but I want the power so then when my kids are sick, I can go into other multiverses and change things. And you see her, you even notice, like, as the thing's going on, her logic in her mind is not making sense.
Yeah.
But she's like, I'm here. I killed about 6 people.
That's right. She's like, I'm on this path now. I can't go back. But it's also, you know, I guess the dark hold.
Yeah, you know, man, that's like drugs. You know, you get onto drugs, you get onto the dark hold. It'll grab you, it'll bring you in.
It'll grab you and it'll give you black fingernails.
It'll give you black fingernails.
No one wants black like not black fingernails, like black fingertips.
Tips.
Yeah.
Like about, you know, up to the bend here.
That's right. And that means you have to wear fingerless gloves all the time.
Because then people just think you got gloves on.
That's right.
Yeah.
I mean, you could just wear gloves. Because then you wish you had gloves on.
The other hit, I think, in this movie is Sam Raimi's as the director. So there's a couple scenes that I specifically want to mention, but this is very different. All Marvel movies look the same. And that's what's quite fatiguing about them, because they're starting to just, they mesh into one, right? This one, I felt they were like, look, Sam Raimi, we're going to bring you in. We want you to do some Sam Raimi things, but we can't get you doing too many Sam Raimi things. But you can put in some things in there, right? And there was 2 scenes in particular where I thought the Sam Raimi things were just like off the hook, and it was great. One was when Wanda comes into what's the place? Catalogue.
Catalogue, yeah.
Yeah, and they're hiding in that room, and she's trying to find a way to get in there.
Oh, that was wild.
And she manages to somehow like conjure herself into there, and all the doors are closing, and like it looks like the wind is like pushing all the doors, like in the Evil Dead. And then she comes out of the wall, or out of
the reflections.
Gong, the reflection on the gong.
She's using the reflections because that's what Doctor Strange locked her up in, or like, you know, did some sorcerer business.
And that one, it looked like a zombie coming through the thing. You know, bones were like, and she was reforming. I thought that was great. And the other one that I loved was when Mordor.
His name's definitely not Mordor.
What's this dude's name?
Mordo.
Mordor's, you know, a lot of the things.
That's right. More dough. Like, hey, we baking this sourdough or what? Yeah, I need more dough.
Right. That's right.
I don't know if you use sourdough. Yeah, you use dough.
I mean, there's dough.
There's dough.
It's sour though.
It's dough. I don't know how much more, but there's dough.
You shouldn't use any less than you need.
You shouldn't use any less.
But when Mordo is explaining stuff to America Chavez and to Doctor Strange, and sort of saying like, if this business is happening, it's already happening. And they've got Doctor Strange's face, it's got America Chavez's face, and like at the top it's got the Scarlet Witch, and they're all in like one frame together. Or it's got more my man's at the top. Do you remember that bit?
I don't remember that. Where was that? Was that when they first?
That was when they went to
rocked up to that multiverse.
Yeah, and they went to old mates, the Sanctum Sanctorum.
Yeah, Bleecker Street and Earth 815 or whatever the number is.
But there was that bit, and I think that sometimes just the way that they did the facial, like the character shots where they were just on their face, was not something that I had seen in these Marvel movies. It felt different the way that this was.
It was a very unique style, which I think,
I think Sam Raimi's going to get films after this, is what I'm thinking.
I think so. He did such a good job because this is such a big thing to tackle, like multiverse.
Yeah,
this is kind of nuts, and I think he did it really well.
I think 7.1 out of 10 is low.
It's way too low. Spider-Man got like 8 or 9 or something. Did it?
Dude, Spider-Man, like, honestly, I'm going to be honest, man. I'm going to be honest with you right now.
That was probably one of the weaker movies in the MCU, I think.
Yeah.
It had some really good parts, but I think on the whole, it was a bit just...
I think the story was just not top tier. But one thing that people also, speaking back onto the Twitters, and you were talking about the multiverse, something that people were harping on about and saying this is why this movie's not that good, is because they only spent time in 3 different universes, right?
But people wanted more.
Yeah, but I think that's
you
can't be doing that, because then you're eating too much.
Yeah,
you haven't got room
too
for more.
much. That's right. It's like you go to Bottega Bandito and you get 3 sandwiches.
You can't get 3 sandwiches.
You can't get 3 sandwiches.
Well, you could barely get 1.
That's right.
You could barely get 1. And like, they're good sandwiches, so you want to eat 3.
Yeah, and you also want to watch the video that we did at Bottega Bandito the other week, last week, on Sunday.
It's on one of the days.
It's on one of the days.
Wait, is the Zoom meeting gonna... Bro, there ain't no Zoom meetings here.
Bro, yeah, no Zoom meetings.
Did you record though? I mean, that's just comedy though.
That's just comedy. That's just video comedy. So anyone on the podcast...
And the funny thing about it is, like, people would be listening to it.
Yeah.
So, like, they know you've recorded it.
I mean, realistically, that's just comedy for us.
It's comedy for us, which it always has been.
That's right. So, all right. So, you want to talk about Sam Raimi thing still?
No, I just wanted to say, I think that by them just doing that thing where they're going through all the different universes, I think that that's enough to show you that.
Yeah, when they got smacked through there. I don't know if I told you this when we had our in the private chats.
Yeah.
Not in the privates, just like in the private. America Chavez, the way she conjures up, like she just punches a star through the multiverse. Like, that's amazing.
That's pretty cool.
Because, all the witches and we're going to conjure this up is like, you wave your hands a bit, you twinkle your fingers. She's just like smacking a hole through things.
Yeah. That's pretty crazy. And also, like, once she gets control of it, I can't wait to see what else she's going to be doing.
Yeah.
Like, she's just going to be punching people into, like, universes in which there's just, like, fire and brimstone.
Well, that's the thing. I don't know what... Realistically, she's in a fight with the thing. Like, what can she do apart from basically what Doctor Strange does with opening them portals?
That's right. But just completely different spaces.
That's right.
Which, unless you go into places with fire and brimstone, like, there's you might end up throwing them to somewhere where they're just millionaires. They're just like,
they're just with Scrooge McDuck.
Yeah, they fall into like that tank and Scrooge McDuck's in there in his bathing suit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she I think she was very cool.
Yeah, she was a really cool character.
I think that one thing that they're doing well now, as movie makers and TV show makers, I don't know if she is just a teenager, but they're actually casting people who are of that correct age.
She did look like, she was like 16, 17.
Yeah, they're not casting Tobey Maguire's, I imagine Tobey Maguire's
and Joe Manganiello.
Yeah. Joe Manganiello, like, coming off of bloody whatever that movie is where they're stripping, but they're
Magic
also
Mike.
yeah, they're also working in convenience stores.
I did not.
The Carmitage bit was amazing. That whole sequence where they're just trying to fight her and she's just doing.
Yeah, no, that was awesome. When Scarlet Witch is getting in that man's head. and he just starts running.
He just starts knocking over people, and she gets in. The cool thing is that she didn't mess around. Like there was just bones on the ground.
Yeah.
By the end of it.
That's actually one thing I really enjoyed about this movie was it was pretty brutal.
Well, I mean, we talked about Black and Gone, Bolter Gone before.
Okay, so should we move on to this part?
Let's move on to that.
Because this part was one of the highlights of the movie just because of how well they did it.
Yeah.
And I mean, you see John Krasinski. Like he's put all his papers away. He's doing Mr. Fantastic things.
This is the Illuminati.
This is the Illuminati.
The Illuminati,
which is a hilarious name for him.
Yeah.
Right. They've got Black and Gone, Bolter Gone. They've got Peggy Carter as Captain Britain.
Captain Carter.
Captain Carter. Yeah. Captain Carter. And they've got Monica Rambeau as Miss Marvel.
Yeah. Is it Monica or Marissa?
Captain Marvel.
It's Captain Marvel.
I think it's Monica Rambeau.
Yeah. It's one of the. It's because I think the other one, the daughter also has M. Name.
Maybe.
I reckon let's go with Monica.
Monica.
But yeah, Captain Marvel.
And then
Black and Gone, Bolter Gone.
And Black and Gone, but then like the main event, the main event, Professor X in the comic appropriate spaceship wheelchair.
Yeah, the from the
like you don't know if he's wearing pants.
Oh, dude, he won't be wearing pants.
He won't be wearing pants.
I mean, he wear a turtleneck, but he won't wear pants.
You know what was something that made me laugh?
Mans will wear a turtleneck, right? And he looked like he wearing two turtlenecks because he got one up here, but the pants are offset. Looks like he got one down as well. I mean, just looks like two tortoises, you know?
Dude, man, just looks like two tortoises.
But
no, the funniest thing about that was when they were recounting, Doctor Strange, like we fought Thanos and won, and Doctor Strange used the black book and he was just like, nah, kill me, bro, because
my fingertips.
I
can't clean them.
Like, I can't clean them. Like, I can't go on dates with this without using gloves. Like, fingers or fingerless.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter to me. And Professor X is there, spaceship wheelchair, suit.
Yeah.
But man just fought Thanos in a suit. Not a scratch on his spaceship wheelchair.
I reckon he rocked up late.
You reckon?
Yeah. And not purposefully, but I don't reckon Mans was in there like doing like, Thanos, let me look into your mind.
Yeah. Maybe he pulled up and just did one of them neck snaps that Scarlet Witch did to him at the end.
You know what's crazy? Thanos is just there with like a sword thrown. Just sitting there with a sword thrown.
But realistically, that is a better team.
That's a killer team.
Than they had it in the Infinity War.
Yeah.
Because they got Captain Marvel. They didn't have Captain Marvel before. She was off doing
Captain Marvel
things. They had Black Gone, Bolter Gone.
Yeah.
Like, man, you know, if his mouth is intact, like, he's just going to whisper you to oblivion.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I don't see how this is an issue with Black Gone, Bolter Gone. Like, man just talks and you're done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
they had Sorcerer Supreme there, Mordo. Like, he was.
No, they had. Oh, was he part of it as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Was he? Oh, but he wasn't Sorcerer Supreme.
I don't know. Maybe he was there. Maybe he wasn't.
He was just a mate. Wasn't
he was just there for the ride.
He was just there for the ride.
And then obviously, yeah, Doctor Strange, and then they had Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Which, if you're going to restrain Thanos, he's the one to do it because he can just have all his bits, all his hands in the spots that you need them. You don't need to have like 4 people holding each arm.
No, that's right. You got one dude doing it.
That's right. You got him. You got Black Gone, Bolter Gone. That's it.
Yeah.
Like, there's no wonder they cleaned them up. They had an objectively better team. And Peggy Carter, Captain Carter, she had a jetpack.
I know. That's
like, she can do that all day, and she got a jetpack.
Yeah. So like, if she gets tired, like, she'll just use the jetpack.
Yeah, they 100% stole that from the Boba Fett, the book. No, Mandalorian.
Well,
Mandalorian.
I mean, I don't know if they stole it from that.
No. As in, the prop is from the Mandalorian.
Right.
It's the exact one.
It looks like it.
Yeah, don't fact check that one. It's the exact one.
It's the exact one. Yeah.
Because she goes, I got to get me one of those. She was watching The Mandalorian.
She watched the Disney Plus exclusive Mandalorian. That scene though, when they arrived, when I was watching it in the cinemas, heads, because like cinemas these days, the cinema goers, they're too young to be knowing who John Krasinski is as Mr. Fantastic or Professor X. Like, they don't know who that is. They don't know Patrick Stewart's rocking up in the spaceship.
Yeah,
but I did. And I was so excited. I was so excited when Christine says, "Oh, we're in the Baxter building, or we're in Baxter Corporation."
Yeah.
And I said to the person next to me, I was like, "I think there's going to be Fantastic Four in this." And they're like, "Nah." And I was like, "I think there's going to be Fantastic Four in this." And there was one of the 4.
It was one of the 4.
It wasn't the whole 4. But that scene This scene where the Illuminati come and they get beaten to shreds.
They get absolutely pieced up.
I'm talking about beaker cheese stringers.
Like, yeah, Mr. Fantastic got turned into a beaker stringer. Like, bend me, shake me any way you want me. That's what Scarlet Witch did.
That scene trumps everything that was done in No Way Home.
Yeah,
They appropriately used. They weren't just used as a means to be like, hey, look, bro, we got all the heads here. Like, this is a movie. We've got the heads. This is what you came for, to see these people.
They gave us enough to enjoy the characters and be like, oh, this is really cool.
Yeah.
But they didn't play it around like, oh, and now John Krasinski's tagging along for the ride.
Yeah, and he's like...
They didn't pick up any heads. They picked up Christine, that was it. But that's because she was integral to the plot.
But also...
Like, they could just beaker stringer Mr. Fantastic and no one blink an eye.
But also they beaker stringed him for a reason, to show where the Scarlet Witch was at in regards to her powers.
Like...
Because remember, they killed Thanos. We were talking about that a couple of minutes earlier.
We just... let's just go over the facts.
Yeah.
Scarlet Witch rocks up. She ain't got no shoes on. She ain't even got Birkenstocks on.
Nah, she's just on the glass.
She's just on the glass. So that already tells you, that already tells you how strong she is.
Like, her fingers are black, but also the bottom of her feet are black.
The bottom of her feet black. The bottom of her feet are probably objectively blacker than her fingers.
Yeah,
because that's just dirt and grime.
Because she'll get back into bed and she won't wash those feet.
That's not, when they're kids, you're going to see that, like, your mum has, dirty feet.
Nah. Because how are you going to, when she tells you to clean up after
that's
that?
That's right. How are you going to respect her?
You can't respect her. Like, bro, look at your bed sheets, man. They used to be white. Now you got footprints on them.
That's right.
Yeah.
But she rocks up. Blacker gone, bolter gone. Where's your mouth? Oh my God. His head just explodes.
Would you expect,
no.
How would you expect it?
No, because the thing is, they set it up, and by they, I mean probably Sam Raimi specifically, they're like, you don't want him to talk. And he's looking pretty menacing.
He is.
Like, he's looking pretty menacing. You know what he did to Thanos.
Yeah, I mean, Thanos just got stabbed. But we know what he did to Doctor Strange. He, melted Doctor Strange.
Sorry, that's what he did. Yeah, he melted Doctor Strange. And then straight away, first one, they're like, this is the big dog.
Yeah.
Didn't even blink an eye.
His head imploded.
His head imploded, that's right.
Like, boogers came out and there was brain juice in those
boogers. Mr. Fantastic, beaker stringed, straight immediately after.
Yeah.
Then who did she take out? She took out Captain Carter.
She did. She took out Captain Carter.
Sliced her in two.
She wasn't last. It was Marvel.
Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel, takes away her powers, it looked like.
Yeah, she does, because she gets to a point where that thing's falling on her. She goes to, stop it, and it just crushes her.
Yeah, and she dead.
She's gone. She's gone.
And then I think the best one was Professor X and Scarlet Witch. They're playing mind games.
The good thing about that is that
Professor X in a turtleneck?
With a turtleneck, yeah. And he hasn't got any pants on, so you see two turtles. he's Franken Beans and flopping, man.
He's Franken Beans and flopping. That's why.
It ain't Franken Beans. It's Franklin and Beans for him. Because he's looking like a turtle. Is what it's looking like.
But I mean, that part also played in so well to the whole plot, because you saw, he saw Wanda Maximoff trying to escape, but Scarlet Witch has just taken over.
Yeah.
And he tried to save her, but man's got his neck snap in his mind.
So I watched the slowed down version of that.
Yeah.
Half of his head gets taken clean off. Not only does he get his neck snapped, but the top of his head is off.
Oh man.
So people were saying, another thing that people said that I disagreed with was that did you see the Scarlet Witch's face during that point? She was looking quite scary. Golly, man. This is one thing that Stu, we forgot about, didn't we?
Yeah, it's hoons all over here.
Hoons, man. But anyway, don't worry about that. That's not even worth talking about, because I got another hit for you.
Okay.
When Scarlet Witch is chasing them through those tunnels.
Oh, that was terrifying.
And they close the gate, and they close the thing, and they're just waiting. And she just comes out like another space.
You're talking about coming out the woodwork.
Yeah.
She came out the woodwork.
And this is why you need to have different directors coming in, not just directors that strictly do Marvel action movie things.
You want different takes.
Yeah. Because my favorite, this is exactly what I see it. My favorite style of comic books are the ones that have, they're the massive books with all the different volumes in them. And the volumes are done by a different artist or a different writer each time. And you see a different style of art in each of the comic books. I love those ones.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you get the more realistic ones. Sometimes you get the more cartoony, Like you can see that they've been just sketching these things here.
Yeah. But in saying that, they can't just have like 5, 6 directors in the same movie.
No, but what I mean is like you can bring in heads to.
Yeah.
Well, that's why
you do this movie, you do this movie.
That's why Ragnarok is such a good
Taika
movie.
Waititi, man, that dude's a genius.
He's a genius.
He's a genius because that's superhero comedy done right.
Done right. Yeah.
And we'll talk about that next week. Because we're doing that. But the other thing you missed is Doctor Strange and Mordo fighting in the. They've got just a hole where the Illuminati's chilling.
Yeah.
They've just got a hole there.
Moat?
Oh, yeah, like a moat. Yeah. Like a moat without water. They couldn't afford the water. And they're fighting there. They're just fist fighting, which is, well, I guess Doctor Strange puts the thing on.
They have the handcuffs on.
Yeah, they got the handcuffs on, so they can't do Sorcerer Supreme stuff. But the funniest part is Doctor Strange's parkour's out of there, and Mordo's just like, damn, man. Like he split his time between sorcery and parkour.
Yeah, yeah.
John Krasinski must have taught him that.
John Krasinski taught him that.
John Krasinski taught him that.
And I love the way that you say Krasinski.
What's his name?
I think it's just Krasinski. Like it's a Z. But Krasinski is funny for me.
Okay. Well, you're welcome.
Like it's John Krasinski doing John Krasinski.
It's absolutely he's doing John Krasinski. Like you just get bigger stringing on the daily.
Oh, dude. Like that looks like it would hurt. His head popped at the end of it. So next I think the hit we need to talk about is the next universe that Doctor Strange and Christine get taken into, in which the Doctor Strange used the Darkhold to straight up try to get Christine back, and he ended up just ruining the universe.
Yeah, so I was a bit confused as to whether that was the universe that they, someone did bad, like Doctor Strange did bad things, and two of the universes collided, and they were both messed up. I didn't know if it was that one, but that doesn't matter. Realistically,
and they have a battle between. So this Doctor Strange that's in this wild universe, he's been going into other universes and dreamwalking, so he could just throw the Doctor Stranges off of a cliff or whatever. So he's a bad man, and they get into a fight, and they just start throwing like musical notes at each other.
Yeah, that's style.
But you know what's cool about that? Not only that's just style. That's just magic things. Like, why can't they just do all sorts of crazy magic things?
Realistically, that's what I've said. Realistically, way too many times.
Hey, realistically though, that's fine.
That's realistically.
Yeah,
because them notes are sharp.
They're sharp, bro.
Like you get a fountain pen with like a flexible nib.
Yeah,
you got that sharp, and then like the line variation.
Nah, man, you can't do it.
No, you can do it. You can do it, and that's why it's good to throw them at heads.
You can do it. Like, absolutely, you can do it. The good thing about that is, and the magic stuff. When we look back at Doctor Strange 1, which I like that movie, but that movie is very much like they're just getting up them shields and they're punching each other and they're throwing.
Yeah, it's not proper sorcery.
Whereas this one they're conjuring all, like there's one bit where Doctor Strange, there's this bus that's like coming.
Yeah.
And Doctor Strange gets some like big old dog head to eat it.
Yeah.
He like conjures some dog head and the dog head eats it. Like, that's great. Like why wouldn't mans do that? Just all sorts of flashy stuff.
He has like he gets the arms.
Gets the snakes.
He had like the snake. Yeah, there's some wild. He does the use of the sorcery is upped significantly in this one.
Yeah, it's like you go to Domino's, you get Sorcery Supreme is what you get if you're Doctor Strange, and that's just playing words.
That's just playing. I mean, most of this podcast has been playing words.
I mean, that's playing words. That's John Krasinski thinks.
That's John Krasinski thinks.
Yeah.
Should we talk about the final fight?
Let's talk about the fight. Yeah.
I mean,
you beat him with logic, don't you?
I mean, you beat him with logic, but also the funniest part was this was another thing that maybe it was a slight miss, but it was kind of funny. What's his name? Doctor Strange said to Christine, "I know we're estranged, but can you fight off these demons, like the souls of the damned?"
Yeah.
And they're beating up Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange is wanting to dreamwalk within this dead.
Which is hilarious. He goes into his like zombie body that they buried at the start of the movie.
And that's some Evil Dead business.
That's some absolute Evil Dead. Like, shout out to Bruce Campbell. Selling pizza bowls.
Yeah.
And Christine's like, you're a sorcerer. They're spirits. And he's like, well, I can conjure them now. I can manipulate them.
Yeah.
And initially I thought he was making a big slingshot. And he was just gonna like yeet his way over to the mountain. That was a really cool kind of revelation. They're like, oh, the book of the Dark Hold, It was built in the what's called, and it's like Scarlet Witch is there.
Yeah, I mean that was a revelation that I didn't expect, but also I'd never seen the movie before I saw it, so how was I going to expect it?
What do you mean?
Like seeing that she was there.
Yeah, but you didn't expect that it was going to be Scarlet Witch. That was the person that built the whole.
Yeah,
joint,
that's right.
Which is, I probably would like a bit more of an explanation because like she got their kids there.
But realistically, wait, how? What do you mean she's got her kids there?
They're in the Stones.
They on the Stones.
They're on Stones.
They're on Stones.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They got the Scarlet Witch and they got the kids.
Oh, they're on the Stones.
They're on the Stones.
Yeah, so that must have been built like a while ago when like people were still doing things in stone.
They must have been.
Yeah.
So she had kids for years. That's what it's.
Maybe this is just like maybe the Scarlet Witch. That's you get the powers of the Scarlet Witch. You also have two kids that you can't see. Like you're estranged from your kids.
Oh, bro, that's
full circle.
That's full circle. But that was cool when they got up there and Wong was telling her, nah, you're gonna have to fight some wild heads, and all them rock dudes coming out the woodwork, or the rock work, and they bow to her.
They bow, yeah.
And then Wong's like, nah, man, I messed up.
It's like, oh man, I sort of led this to this little curve. With the Wong thing, right? So he goes over there and he says, I can't get you any closer because like my powers, they don't allow me to get you any closer. Then he's just using his powers in that space.
No, but he couldn't over there.
But why? Just so we could show that, Wanda Maximoff can fly over there. I guess
no, it was because then we needed the wings.
You get the
spirit wings.
Yeah, you get the slingshot at the end.
It should have been a slingshot, man. But that was cool with the spirits and America Chavez. I mean, that might have been a bit for some heads. That might have been like, just believe in yourself. Okay, I can do everything now. Yeah. Which it felt like maybe it was because there wasn't much of that, and it still felt kind of realistic because she could kind of do it.
Well, you know why I think it's good? This is why I think it's good.
Tell me why you
it's
think
good.
It's good
for the character of Doctor Strange, because throughout this whole movie, there's the concern in America Chavez's mind that she will get killed eventually because Doctor Strange will say, you haven't got the ability to control your power. She's going to take him. I'm going to kill you and take your powers from you.
Yeah.
I'm going to take your powers and inadvertently kill you.
It's the lesser of two evils.
The lesser of two evils. Whereas throughout the movie, you see where there's times where he raises his voice or says certain things to her that he's like, look, I'm sorry. I didn't mean, this is not, we're together. We're not two separate entities. We're working on this together. And then at the end, he's like, you know what? We're going to continue this. Like whatever happens, we're just going to continue and you're going to do it yourself. And I think that's good because, again, not to compare this to the worst Avenger of all time, but with Mans' relationship with Spider-Man's, Tony Stark's relationship with Spider-Man's, he was not a good parental figure to that person.
No.
He was just like, let me throw you into the mix and like, look, oh man, you
no, he was, let me bring you into the mix when I need you. And then I won't be there when you need me.
That's right. Whereas Doctor Strange was like, you've brought the mix to me and I'm going to do everything that I can to support you through this mix and make you strong enough to go and defeat the next mix.
That's right. And we're going to get that whisk and we're going to make this mix even better and we're going to have banana muffins at the end of it.
And it's going to be smooth.
And it's smooth.
But you don't want to smooth it out too much though.
No, you want a bit of the and like maybe put like chocolate chips on there or something.
Yeah, a bit of sweetness. Because you don't want it too healthy, man.
No, I think it needs like some banana muffins need chips, chocolate chips. Yeah. But I mean,
but this is like high on the list of my Marvel movies.
This has definitely gone up to. I mean, there have been some absolute hits of movies that I've seen lately.
Tell me about them.
The Batman.
Oh, hit.
This
hit.
Eternals was pretty top tier.
That's a hit. Also, another thing, Eternals didn't even get nominated for an Oscar for like best, special effects and whatnot. Spider-Man No Way Home did.
For real?
Yeah, bro. Like they're what they're doing here is they're bringing the little man down. They're trying to bring the big man up.
No, that's.
And I mean, the little man is Angelina Jolie, but they're trying to bring it down.
The last thing I think we should talk about is how wild the ending was, with America Chavez just being like, "Well, here's your kids."
Yeah.
And they're terrified of her.
Yeah.
They're terrified of her.
That's how you beat a man with logic. That's how you beat him. Beat him over the head with it.
Because that's when I think what you were saying before, her plan, I guess, was getting more illogical as time went on.
Yeah.
And at that point, it caught up to her. She was like, bro, I've seen this. I've seen it.
And also, she was in a position where she was ready to kill someone. So, like, her ability to then see kids and be like, oh, children, yes, was very, like, she's not in that right frame of mind to be dealing with children right there. You know, if you're ready to kill someone, you shouldn't be near children.
You absolutely should not, because that's trauma.
I mean,
for both parties involved. For all parties involved, that's trauma.
Yeah, yeah, especially for the person that's dead, like, after you kill them. Like, that's trauma.
I mean, that's
physical.
I guess that's the ultimate form of trauma.
Yeah. The thing that I'm excited for is where to next. I know that there's going to be, we see the Charlize Theron bit where it's like, hey, let's jump into this crazy bit.
That was, I didn't really like the.
But here's what I think should be next. I think that, so you remember at the start of the movie when the wedding?
Yeah.
And that other man's is like, was it really the only option to kill Thanos? Hey, he says to him, you know, my cat died. My whoever else died.
Oh.
Yeah, he says that.
I remember that vaguely. I don't remember him talking about his cat, though.
So then he gets put in, he's top billing in that. I think he's like in the posters or something as well.
Who?
The man's that's talking to Doctor Strange at the start. Like he's somewhere in there.
I gotta find out this.
Or he's at least top billing, right? Maybe that's because it was done in order. But I think that him and Mordor, whatever that idiot's name is, he's not an idiot. I'm just mad because I can't pronounce his name.
I'm not going to find it.
I reckon they team up and they try to take on Doctor Strange.
Well, that's what I think, because Mordo is out there retaking legs.
That's right. We talked about that in person.
We talked about that in person.
So like they would get the reference. But when man's like takes away that person's ability to walk.
That's right. In the after credits for the first Doctor, well, the other Doctor Strange.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, that's just Doctor Strange things, man.
I mean, it's strange, man.
I'm really excited for what the MCU has to offer, because so far it's been about 50-50.
It's been about 50-50.
I'm excited for Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yeah, and that's out, I think.
Is it?
Is that out?
I think it might be.
It might be out.
It might be out.
It might be out.
Well, next week we're going to do Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Because I think we've done all the other Thors. We haven't done the original.
We haven't done original Thor.
We've done Thor: The Dark World.
Yeah, because that's top. That's a hit, man.
That is a hit.
Like people look at those old Thor movies and they think they're not hitters. They're hitters, man.
Dude,
they don't quit.
Absolute hitters.
Like I put No Way Home.
I was just about to say, I'd rather watch that than No Way Home.
Oh, absolutely. Thor 2, you see a man snap a man's neck with one hand as he's walking. Like this is just every day for me. Jake Paul came in here saying it's every day, bro. You know? But Vincent, let's just tell them where they can find us. This is high eights. This is nines.
This has got to be a 9. This has got to be. I mean, this actually got to be higher than. I reckon this is like 9.5, 9.8.
Bro, this could be 9.5, 9.8. This is good.
Because I'm thinking. That's right. I'm thinking in terms of. Like for me, the Batman, that's hit 10.
Oh, bro, dude,
that's hit 10.
I've been rewatching it. Just
I've got to rewatch it. I've got to rewatch it. And like for the rest of the movies that I like, I mean, The Dark Knight, that's a 10 for me.
Yeah.
Like Blade Runner, that's a 10 for me.
Which one? 2049 or
both of them?
Original? Yeah,
both of them.
They're good movies. They're good films. That's cinema, though.
That's cinema. That's absolute cinema.
That's
Same with the Batman. That was cinema.
That's cinema. Incarnate.
So I'm thinking it's got to be a 9.5 to 9.8. I'm going to rewatch it. We'll see if we'll get a 10.
I mean, it might get a 10.
It might. It's like there's very minimal that I found wrong with it. And especially after talking to you, normally what happens is I say, bro, that was wild. Like the Star Wars Episode 9, like there was spaceship. It's like, bro, but what about all these things? I was like, oh, that was the dumbest movie I ever watched.
Like when we came out of Star Wars Episode 9.
Like that specifically happened. That exact scenario.
And you were like, oh man, they're all going to die and then there's 40 billion spaceships. It's like, there's not this many people in the universe that own spaceships.
Like when I was in that cinema, bro, I was living it. I was absolutely living it. I was like, bro, they put out all the spaceships.
And the best thing about being in a cinema when Vinny is living it is his facial expression is blank. That's for me and you because no one watches this.
That's
but Vincent,
right. No one gets this far.
Tell them where they can find us.
Man. Hey, if you're at this point of this podcast, you already know where to find us.
Yeah,
Talk soon.
True. Talk soon.